Today we're talking about Zacchaeus. He lived in a place called Jericho in a country called Israel. That's where Jesus actually lived. Let's go. When Jesus was teaching, he would walk all over Israel. Some people think he walked 3,000 miles in just 3 years. I mean, imagine, if you heard that someone was traveling around healing people, don't you think you might want to see that for yourself? We're not far from Jericho, an ancient city, and the place where Jesus met a man named Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus was the chief tax collector in Jericho. We pay taxes today, but in Zacchaeus' day, the Roman army had invaded Israel and made them pay money or taxes to Rome. But they didn't collect the money themselves. They hired local people to do that. And as long as Rome got the money they wanted, they didn't care if the tax collectors charged a little extra, so tax collectors had a reputation for being dishonest and greedy and charging way more than they had to. So, they were usually rich and nobody liked them. That's who Zacchaeus was, rich and disliked. One day, Jesus was traveling through Jericho where Zacchaeus lived, just passing through, talking to people, healing folks, and teaching about the kingdom of God. And because Jesus was getting so popular, a huge crowd had gathered to see him, including Zacchaeus. Now, Zacchaeus was a short guy, really short. He was trying to see Jesus through the crowd, but he couldn't even catch a glimpse. So he ran ahead of the crowd and climbed up a sycamore tree to get a better look at Jesus. And it worked. Zacchaeus could see. No one was in front of him blocking his view. He could see Jesus. He could hear Jesus. And then get this, Jesus stops walking when he gets to the sycamore tree that Zacchaeus is in, and he says, "Zacchaeus, come down at once. I must stay at your house today." Now, Zacchaeus is ecstatic. Jesus is speaking directly to him. So Zacchaeus scrambles down the tree, and his thoughts are probably racing. What was he going to cook for Jesus? What would he ask him? What would Jesus tell him? But the rest of the crowd was grumbling. They were mumbling things like, "Jesus has gone to be the guest of a sinner." When they saw Zacchaeus, they saw a sinner who treated them badly. After all, he was a tax collector, so that means he's a liar and a cheat, right? Why in the world would Jesus give him attention? As the crowd grumbled and mumbled, Zacchaeus stood up and said, "Here and now, I give half of what I own to the poor. And if I've cheated anybody, I will pay back 4 times the amount I took." Now, you don't have to be from Zacchaeus' time to know that giving half of everything you own to the poor is really, really generous. It's the kind of thing you would expect from someone who's been truly changed by Jesus. And that was Zacchaeus. He had been truly changed. And Jesus knew this. So right then and there, he told him, "Salvation has come to your house today." Zacchaeus had become a part of God's family, and nothing could change that. Now, when this sycamore tree is healthy, it produces fruit. They're called figs. Just like apple trees grow and produce apples, and oak trees grow and produce acorns. We don't have branches and leaves, but when we follow Jesus and become more like him, we grow and produce things like kindness and love and joy and patience and lots of other good things. So, what do you think? How do you think Zacchaeus reacted when he heard Jesus call him by name? What did the people in the crowd say when Zacchaeus offered to pay people back 4 times what he took? What are things Zacchaeus stopped or started doing after meeting Jesus? What's something you know you need to stop or start doing? When Zacchaeus followed Jesus, He changed. And when we follow Jesus, we will change too. And that's true wherever you are.